2025, I'll just show you here once they always do this, how they do not allow me to show you the date. No, those are so July 20th, 2025. So anyways, I'm just going to read a testimony from Dr Chinedu Ogbonna. So this is day 76 that I've been held against my will at the Syria hospital, and they're saying that I have schizoaffective psychosis with bipolar type 1. So bipolar would mean that severe happiness and depression. I haven't exhibited any of those characteristics, and I haven't exhibited any aggression in 76 days. I haven't been physically or chemically restrained, and you'll see that through the process of this video that I'm going to go through and organize concise manner. And part of schizoaffectiveness is being having hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking. So I'll just progress logically. You'll see how methodical I am. So you can see where it says Dr. Ogbonna, and then Doctor, and then page 13. So I'll just flip this over. Where it says he came to Sault Ste. Marie earlier this year in January. That's a lie. I was in Windsor at a shelter in Windsor, and then it says would he, like, basically right here it says I'll just read it. If he was discharged in Sault Ste. Marie, is there somebody at the hospital or in the community that would assist him in immediate housing, or would he be on his own with finances to arrange for urgent housing? I mean, we have our social worker who tried, that's past tense, so that's incorrect, to get him into a local motel, emergency house, not housing, emergency house. This is how the man speaks, or a men's shelter. If you notice from my other videos, he says instead of anxiety, he calls it anxiety or amdissence. Amdissence, Dr. Blah, 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 amdissence. And I like to whimsically chastise my mental violator, somebody that has held me for 76 days without due process or being warranted anyways. So now I'm just going to read here how he says he talks, okay, I'm trying to look on it on the screen here. So there, he talks about being immortal, that if a vehicle should hit him, that nothing will happen to him because of his unique genetics. So I'll just show you the video that he referenced, and you'll see this video, like in Dr. Ogbonna's mind, this video was from 6 years ago. He believes that using videos and social media posts from a different year would indicate somebody's current mental health status in 2025. So you can see this video right there. Mental is maybe, maybe not. This is 6 years ago in Denmark. So, and another thing with Dr. Ogbonna, so you'll see in this video, the opposite of serious is being whimsical, funny, farcical, and joking around. And how I change my voice. Listen to how I change my voice, and that is indicating sarcasm, which a healthy mind is able to recognize sarcasm, and clearly Dr. Chinedu Ogbonna is not capable of recognizing sarcasm and doesn't have a healthy mind, but that could be inferred.
I've been posting a lot of serious videos, so I'm going to post one that's not so serious. I'm going to stop these cars with my mind.
So to do the sarcasm, you can see how the cars were at a red light. I was about 30 meters away, and so they were going slow. The only way that I would have been hit by a car is if they were driving with their eyes closed. I had my hand out. You can see it on camera here. I had my hand out indicating that they would have to stop. And the person didn't even honk their horn. I had zero risk to my body. And how Dr. Ogbonna, he blew it out of proportion. The man believes that refusing blood work or blood investigations is a sign of psychosis. I'll just show you that in a little bit here. So look at the license plate. This is from Denmark. You can see the European license plate. That's a European license plate. And you could go to this video is called Mental is Maybe, Maybe Not on YouTube, right? So if you've seen a Canadian license plate, that means that you can't believe what you see, like through subliminal. Okay, so let's see. And then he's saying, it says, which is unique, though he would raise his shirt and show his chest that he has special chest muscles. So I'm just going to show you proof of this here, and I'll show you screenshots. So this is typical generation 1 biology. You can see that, like, I'll just take a better screenshot here. So that's typical generation 1 biology. Like, once again, you'll have to watch this video transparently on YouTube once it's on YouTube, because people are able to add subliminal, and they're able to skew how it's seen by people that are watching it through any like other electronic means. Because most people don't have my pectoral muscles. They don't. And a computed tomography test is going to show that in the future. So I'll just play this video right here. This shows that, so you can see the indentations in the muscles that I have. I'll just play it again from the beginning. You can see the indentations that I have in the muscle. Like, well, not indentations, but I guess it's kind of indentations. It's more like how ridges that stick out. And watch how when I flex my pectoral muscles, how it ripples all the way up to my shoulder. And then I'll show you a pectoral dance of another biology where it only goes up halfway. Mine goes past my tattoo. Once again, you can see the difference. You can see how it goes all the way up almost by my shoulder. And Dr. Ogbonna thinks that showing proof, trying to show medical, like trying to get an x-ray or positron tomography or computed tomography test, trying to show scientific, like get scientific evidence, is being inappropriate. Like, so clearly I showed a unique biology, and I wasn't given the appropriate means, and I've been kept against my will now for 76 days. So you can see, watch how far it goes up. Watch how far it goes up compared to, see how it's going all the way up there. So now I'll just play, I'll just go on YouTube and I'll find some random video on YouTube, and you'll see how other males' biology, they can't flex it that much. So let's see a pectoral dance. I'll just go to any random one now down here. I just didn't want to go to the first ones. Let's go to Terry Crews.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, and I want to welcome you to I must increase my bust.
Okay, so that's shirtless. So you can see it here. Okay, this guy, I've seen this video before. So you can see how it doesn't get nowhere near as high as mine, and I'm Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. You can see that that was clearly different. And then, so he's saying because of this, because of his unique DNA, a lot of delusions, grandiose, and precursory delusions. I showed him scientific evidence. So now I'm going to show you how it's unlikely to get diagnosed with schizophrenia at 40. And so it says right here, I mean, his first admission was in 2017. That was a few days. So I'll just show you some evidence here. I'm just going to pause it. Okay, so a person diagnosed with schizophrenia at 40 is typically not medicated and released after a few days of observation. So now he's saying, since I'm older, I'm 47 now, he's saying that even though I'm going to be taking the same medication, he'd want to keep me for evaluation for 2 months. So when I was 40, they're saying that I was in and out within a few days, but now at 47, he'd need to keep me in for 2 months for evaluation. So I'm going to show how that's not medically typical. No, a 2-month evaluation period is not standard requirement for a 47-year-old restarting a medication they previously used successfully. So it just proves that he's being biased, and once again, he was trained from a Nigerian university, like college it said, and nobody's ever heard of it. You know, maybe if you're from Nigeria, that's about it. It's not like it was Yale or Harvard or the University of Toronto or something like that. So I have been assessed by, at the hearing I have a hearing coming up this week, and I have medical records, and I'm going to show that I was assessed in 2017, and I was released after a few days because I wasn't medicated. I wasn't diagnosed. So he lied. I'm going to be able to sue him for defamation of character, libel, because he wrote it down in writing that I was first assessed and released within a few days. And then his last admission, he's making it seem like it's been a concurrent thing that has been happening. And I wasn't, he was the only one that took the bait. I was assessed by a Canadian psychiatrist in 2017, released after a few days. I sought asylum in Denmark in 2019. And, I didn't even tell, and I got deported back to Canada. I didn't tell anybody I was coming back to Canada. Didn't tell anybody. And then my brother somehow found out, and then he told, so as soon as I got off the plane, the police were waiting for me at the airport. How is that even ethical? When somebody seeks asylum from a country, how did Canada even find out that I was coming back? And how did my brother find out that and have the police wait for me at the airport? How did the police know that I was going to be at the airport at that time? Right, after seeking asylum. How is that even ethical? Obviously, there was some collusion. Obviously, with in my videos earlier with brain-computer interface and what have you, it shows that people are able, like, it's called functioning magnetic resonant imaging. They're able to decipher brain signals and frequencies and basically listen to your thoughts. So people that aren't able to communicate, so they're able to listen to your thoughts. So they were able to do this remotely, and they violated me from there. I posted a video while I was in Denmark, chastising the Superior Hospital. The hospital was built like not even 10 years before there, and I said they spy and voyeur on patients above the mental health wing. And you know what they did? They renovated above the mental health wing after I sought asylum. A brand new hospital. Why would it need to be renovated? And here's the proof, and there's all the crimes that occur. So you can see here, based on his presentation, the grounds for physical impairment, I still rely on that, the risk to others. He's used to make threats because it's part of the delusional world view that he is king, and once he's released, he's going to execute multiple individuals, And so I'll just show you proof that he kind of contradicted himself. And then so right here it says, but to your knowledge, has he ever actually harmed anybody? No, I'm not aware of him having harmed anyone. So basically what all I said is once I'm king, there's high treason, right? Because I'm going to be king. It's guaranteed. I look like Edward VIII. My family went to a royal wedding, and my dad had servants. His dad had servants. All my forefathers had servants, and I had nobility on both sides of my family. And my family went to a royal wedding, and I looked like Princess Helena. And I'll show you later on in the video after I go through all this. But I'll show you how I look like Princess Helena. I look like Edward VIII, and he could possibly be my grandfather. My grandmother lived in London, England. My dad was born in London, England. My mom was Danish, but she was born in America on a trip. And so she was Danish, and I look like Captain James Cook, and wherever that man went, he had successful children. So I'm just going to go through the notes here. So I said once I'm king, because there's attempted regicide. You'll see a video that I'll play after I go through the testimony here, how I get wrinkles on film and they disappear on film, and that's not delusional. And with this Moby Zen recorder, I'll show you how it's not. There's no wrinkle reduction capabilities with this app, and it's not supposed to be possible. But it happens with my biology because of my unique characteristics. And once you see how much I resemble, and my half sister lived on Princess Crescent. My former mother-in-law got me a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. The current king of the United Kingdom is King Charles, and the Queen's on the $20 bill because Canada is part of the British Commonwealth. And so the sovereign would be King Charles currently, but eventually it'll be myself, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. I'll be the sovereign. And crimes against the sovereign or a king would be high treason, and that's currently life in prison. So once I show that the Canadian government profiles Canadians, which a Gauss or a Tesla meter would reveal that there's magnetic signatures that are influenced by electromagnetic forces like 5G frequency, and they could register with different movements and what have you. I'm going to show that they secretly kill Canadians, and we don't have a death penalty. So once I'm king, I'm going to be able to easily convince the Canadian public that people, regular Canadians, secretly kill other Canadians, and that it would be easy for me to convert their high treason, life imprisonment to being executed. Right. And so once again, I don't have a criminal record. I've never been convicted of any assaults or anything like that. I stopped taking medication in 2023. I'm still waiting for the serious physical and mental deterioration to occur. I'm going to show you right now, once again, with schizoaffective disorder, one of it is hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking. So I'm going to show you where Dr. Ogbonna said that I was organized. right? So he contradicts himself. So it says, so it's not due to fear of anything that Mr. Meyer might do. No, I don't think so, no. Right, so he just constantly contradicts himself. Like, cause his claim was, oh, he needs to be locked up because he's gonna execute a bunch of people once he leaves. Once again, this man wasn't able to detect sarcasm in a video, and I'll just show you this real fast because I didn't show it yet. But detecting sarcasm is a sign of a healthy mind. Detecting sarcasm is a sign of a healthy mind. So you can see right here, a psychologist explains the irresistible appeal of sarcasm. A study published in the Neural Image magazine reveals that recognizing sarcasm indicates a healthy brain, and sarcasm is a versatile communication tool. So Dr. Ogbonna, Chinedu Ogbonna, isn't able to recognize sarcasm whatsoever. Like, because in that video, he's like, he thinks his king cars could hit him, and he has no worry about getting hit and all this. It's like, hey, most of my videos are serious. This one's going to be not so serious. I'm going to stop these cars with my mind. That's called sarcasm, Dr. Ogbonna. Remember, you say not emergency housing, you say emergency house. And you talk in past tense, in the wrong tense, and ambitions and anxiety. Like, you're not even competent enough to communicate at a grade 7 level. How the heck are you a psychiatrist? He's like, he has psychosis by refusing blood investigations. Well, first of all, that's a general practitioner's responsibility. And my general practitioner never was concerned with me getting blood work to determine whether or not I had diabetes. How come my psychiatrist is? How come you're trying to facilitate another role? That's, psychiatrists, like, if every psychiatrist would perform those type of duties, why do we have general practitioners? Right, so you can see how the wrinkles disappear. Why would we have general practitioners and psychiatrists? Why would they all do the same thing? Because that's not within the realm of scope of a psychiatrist's job. So his working diagnosis is schizoaffective bipolar type 1. So once again, by schizoaffective disorder means hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, and bipolar means severe, like really happy and then depression. And I've never exhibited any of my videos online. I never exhibited any depression. Okay, so let's see. So it says. So once again, when I looked on CAMH, you'll see when I go with the hearing. When I looked on CAMH, that's Canadian Addictions and Mental Health. It said that like schizophrenics aren't able to understand information. They're not able to understand, right? So it says no, he's able to understand information. It says that right there. And on CAMH, I'll just show you right here. Let's just search right now. Are schizophrenics typically able to understand information about schizophrenia? So saying, well, like they're using an AI overview. Lack of insight, which prevents them from recognizing illness or symptoms, right? So that means they can't process information, right? So he contradicts himself consistently, and so here's where he tells a lie, because he's currently on our ward. So I try to see him on a daily basis. So basically, I sent him an email, and I got his email. I'll just show you from the page that I got the email from. Oh, I don't have it here, but I got his email. Like my half sister sent him an email, and his email address was on the bottom, right? So he was always lying. So I'm like, hey, I sent him an email. I'm like, hey, I only want to correspond with you by email, so I could use your thoughts and your words and evidence against you and logic against you. And by you not communicating by email, this is a presumption of guilt. And by failing to respond to this email, it's a presumption of guilt. And he's yet to respond. He said he didn't get the email. And it's, I know his email address, like, because I got it from the evidence that they submitted in the evidence package, right? So he's an idiot. So anyway, so he says that I'm on he tries to see me on a daily basis, and then and so he was saying that I was still in the PICU. This was and I was there for 10 days, and he was saying that there was no beds available. And once with the Freedom of Information Act, I'll be able to show that that there were beds available. I could request a patient bed count. I can't ask medical information, but I could say, well, hey, you have, just say they have 30 beds. I could be like, well, how many of those beds were available? Right? So they're going to show that there's plenty of beds. And it's not that I'm pressured or rushed or anything. I only have an hour of time to make these videos with cell phone time. I'd speak a lot slower, and I'd be able to go through this a lot slower, but I'm rushed because I only have a limited amount of time to be able to use this, and I've already used 20 minutes. Right? So I'm just trying to get through the whole package. I got about 20 pages to go. So once I'm in the hearing, you know, the first thing I'm going to do is, because last time in this particular meeting, every time I went to say something, they'd interrupt me. So the first thing I'm going to do is circumvent their strategy and be like, okay, I'm going to show how I'm able to methodically go through things in a logical, linear process, as long as I'm not interrupted. So as long as I'm allowed to finish my train of thought, you'll see the reason behind my process, basically. So right here, question. Oh, I see. There's been no aggression since he's been on the unit. No aggression. Right? So this was like after day 10. It's day 76. I haven't showed any aggression. I haven't been physically or chemically restrained. I haven't been brought over the PICU. I'm frustrated. Like, you know, I mentioned you know, I do have a medical marijuana prescription and for anxiety, and I haven't been given my medication, and I don't exhibit any psychotic tendencies. I haven't been charged criminally. I haven't assaulted anybody. Like, well, he said that I was psychotic basically because my brother, who's deceased now, he died in 2021. Dr. Ogbonna thought he died in 2023. Like, the guy's, and he gets my daughter's name wrong when I work wrong. But anyways, my brother said I threw him down a dumpster in a building. Right? And I was 12 years old at the time when I lived in this building, and we lived on the 4th floor. And in the Canadian, you know, buildings, like in buildings, the garbage dumpster, they don't build them big enough for people like 10-year-olds to go down the garbage dumpster. If not, kids would die all the time. They die all the time, and so once again, they don't build you know, make garbage dumpsters where kids could go down, and there was no medical evidence. There was no contusions, lacerations, or broken bones, and 4 stories. That's over 40 feet high. That's enough to kill somebody, right? So, and this was when I was 12. How come it took 30 years? By the time I was 42, for them to say I exhibited any psychosis? I don't have a criminal record. I've never been convicted of any crimes resulting, like as an adult, I haven't been convicted of any crimes. I don't have a criminal record. Right, so they're like, well, he's known to police. Well, how can I be known to police other than that there's a secret profiling system and that I'm the true king of the United Kingdom, right? You know, when I panhandle, I get harassed panhandling all the time. So once again, this is there's all the evidence will be brought to light in the future. They just try to get me to detract that. So in your CCB summary, you indicate that he's not a suitable candidate for voluntary admission, that he should be in the PICU to manage episodes of agitation and disorganization. So I'm just going to show you page 22 here, and I should refute that. I have repeatedly offered to manage Mr. Meyer as a volunteer client, and most recently contacted us on 14th of May 2025. So this, like, so once again, he said, so I'll just read. So he's saying that, like, the question was, like, is he a candidate for voluntary status? And then, their answer, like, can you, like, why is he a candidate? Yes or no? And basically, they're saying he says, I'm not. So let's read here. So I'll read the whole thing. And I showed you on May 14, 2025, how he said that he tried to offer me volunteer status. So I'll show you how he contradicts himself right now. In the CCB summary, you indicate that he's not a suitable candidate for voluntary status and that he's in the PICU to manage episodes of agitation and disorganization. I mean, when he came in, yes. Right, so he's saying that I'm not a candidate of volunteer status, but I just showed you on May 14, 2025, where he said he offered me volunteer status, but I wanted to challenge him, so it didn't happen. And then see, so where it says he did not. Okay, that's a different page. That's 26. So it says he was not happy that he was hospitalized, so there was agitation. Rightfully so. Like if you get hospitalized against your will, then because in Canada it could be like anybody could be like, this person's at physical harm to myself or themselves, and then they could be hospitalized. Right, so anybody, it's like witch hunt. It's like in the Spanish Inquisition, like, she's a better cook than me. She must be a witch. Right, and then she'd be burnt to the stake, right? So so you can see me getting wrinkled on film here. So watch out. So you can see my wrinkles disappear, and you'll find out that that's not possible. So, anyways, people shouldn't be able to just accuse somebody without any evidence. They used hearsay, and in the hearing, in a few days when I have this week coming up, I'm gonna be able to show how. My half-sister, she said I smoked crack cocaine, and then when I challenged her on my text message, she said that she heard it from somebody else. So she used hearsay and then propagated that hearsay. She propagated a rumor. And then, it's causing me to be held against my will now for 76 days. It's like I don't have a criminal record, right? And in the system, once they see what I do, there's my psyche originally. There's my natural psyche. And then there's the psyche that they profile me with. Right. So once again, those are all those individuals. Right. So there's my natural psyche. And so they're the pot calling the kettle black, basically. So I'll just show you here where the doctor says right here, he improved. We're actually on the verge of moving him to the main unit. So how can I improve if I need a medication? I haven't taken medication. Right, I should have deteriorated, Dr. Ogbonna. Over 76 days, I should have shown severe signs of aggression, disorganization, delusions, and hallucinations and delusions. I shouldn't have improved. In your words, you said I improved, and I'm going to show you where you say that I'm organized, right? And once again, you lied. I have proof, right? In your writing, your words. You said that I wasn't a volunteer candidate, but then you offered me volunteer status. Right, so you can't remember your lies, and that's typical, right? See, I remember things because it's the truth, but when you lie, you forget. You have to tell them you lie. That's why you're like, so is he not a candidate for involuntary status? Yeah, he's not a candidate, right? But then I showed proof. We're on May 14th, 2025. Once again, I'm getting wrinkled on film here, and where you said that I was offered volunteer status, right? Make up your mind. Stop lying. You can't practice medicine, like psychiatry. So basically, he was saying, do I have it? I don't even have it here. But anyways, I do have it. So he's saying right here, because when I first came in, because I was homeless, right? I was homeless as of September 2024, and they're saying that I was homeless in August. And because I paid my rent September 1st, and September 2nd I came home, all my stuff was outside. So I went to the police station, and I felt dabs of liquid on my leg, and there's a profiling system with a Gauss or Tesla meter that would reveal all the occurrences. But anyways, I went to the police station, and I said, well, hey, to the officer, have you ever called the landlord-tenant board? He's like, no, I've never called. I'm like, well, how long have you been a call for? He's like, 20 years. I'm like, well, I did call, and what you're explaining to me doesn't relate to my personal situation. Can you help me get back into my place? I was told by the landlord-tenant board I would have to go to court. It would take months, and that I not only would win, I get to sue my landlord. And so the doctor's like, my half sister's like, well, hey, he's not taking his medication, and therefore he can't maintain housing. Well, my sister would say housing, but in Dr. Ogbonna would be, he can't maintain house. You'll see as I read later on here. But so my sister, so right here it says he's clean shaven now and showered and changed his clothes. But now my half sister, she's like, he was sleeping in subways and going into shelters once in a while for a meal in panhandling. So I guess in half sister Brandy's Slander's eyes, I go to the shelter for meals and panhandling, right? How ethical is that? How much? Well, not ethical. How unlikely is that? Right? Is it more likely that I went to a shelter for a meal and a shower? Right? Because right here she's like, I'll just show you here. He hadn't showered for 3 months. So you can see where it says he hadn't showered for 3 months. And it's like, wow, okay, well, how come so she's saying that I would go to the shelter for a meal and panhandling, but I wouldn't shower. But then Dr. Ogbonna is saying, okay, well, he's clean shaven now and he showered. So clearly I shower when I have an opportunity to shower. I was staying in Toronto, and at Dundas and Parliament, there's a facility there that enables people to shower. Like, so I would clearly shower. Like they can't get their lives coordinated, basically. So I'm just gonna read over here. So here's where, so he will struggle to maintain house, not housing. Like, see, he can't even grammatically communicate. He will struggle to maintain house. It'd be, Dr. Ogbonna, he would struggle to maintain housing. He was homeless before he came in. He continues to remain homeless. He has delusions of immortality that if he goes onto the road because he is king, the cars will stop for him. You can see where he says that. He has delusions of immortality that since he's king, the cars will stop for him. So you can see where I played the mentalist, maybe not. I'm like, hey, most of my videos are serious. This one's not so serious. I'm going to stop those cars with my mind. Right, so once again, in the Neural Image magazine, recognizing sarcasm is a sign of a healthy mind. And there's Dr. Ogbonna's psyche. So I just showed it to the system. So you could clearly see he doesn't have a healthy mind if you can recognize sarcasm. And so let's see. Yeah. So then those delusions like grandiose, the precursory, and delusions about his body, they will continue to get worse. And eventually I think he will be brought back in. Somebody will bring him to another Form 2, will be completed, or he will be picked up and brought in for an ED for assessment. Okay, so once again, I haven't been taking medication since 2023. Right, my half sister, I had 4 phones stolen from me since I'm homeless. Right, I'd plug them in, and then they'd get stolen. My half sister's like, he throws his phones away. The government's doing all this and all that, and I'll show you some videos if I have time at the end of it. But if not, you could see how Canada violates me. Part 1 and part 2. Just prior to this video posted today, you'll see some of the things that they do to me, like they change my pigmentation, and you can see where I've gotten wrinkles and on film, and they disappeared on film, right? So this is Canada allowing biological and chemical weaponry to happen to me. But if you were to do a search online, I could show you a screenshot at the end of it. But digital, you could put digital impulses in through a screen or a computer, like your cell phone, and it could activate nanotechnology, and it could cause they could activate medication, basically. I'll just pause it right now and I'll show you that proof. So yes, theoretically, computational medicine could be leveraged digital impulses to trigger nanotechnology-based drug delivery. So that proves that it's possible. So that, like in Dr. Chinedu, Chinedu, and then Ogbonna, Ogbonna. So he said that they could do these things through computer screens, and that's how COVID happened. And I just showed you proof that theoretically with computational medicine, digital impulses through your cell phone screen could activate nanotechnology in drug-based delivery. So if they could heal you with drugs, that means they could cause illness as well. That's the flip side of the coin, right? Anytime there's a capability, remember there's a vulnerability. So let's see, what else is there? So as you can see, I'm quite methodical in my approach here. So here's where, they're like, well, he's grandiose. So I'm going to show you a screenshot afterwards that shows that this is possible. Because I'm like, nanotechnology eye cameras with Bluetooth can communicate with nanotechnology in the brain responsible for vision, which then projects to the mind's eye, making the blind being able to see. But the government of Canada uses this technology against me instead. So I'm just going to show you once again how this is possible. So I'm going to show you this one first. This one, because you can't just ask the internet certain things, because they censor. They're trying to pretend that schizophrenia isn't man-made. But I posted a video and I showed the proof. It's called functioning magnetic resonance imagery, and basically that could cause stimulus to the brain and frequencies to the brain and impulses to the brain, and with brain-computer interface, which is capable of using a computer to activate robotics or prosthetic limbs, basically hijack another human body. And with DNA transfers, you can share attributes between organisms. So with that means they could implant thoughts and sounds. And so anyways, so this was the first search. While it's not currently possible with existing technology, the concept of nano cameras communicating with nanotechnology in the brain project images to the visual cortex is a fascinating area of research for potential future development. So I'm going to show you where I did rephrase how I said it on the internet, and I was able to get the correct information. Yes, there are nano cameras. Okay. And then yes, nanotechnology enables communication at the nanoscale. Okay. And yes, there is research in developing nanotechnology which aims to interface with the visual cortex to restore enhanced vision. This includes correctable visual processes and nanomaterials to stimulate visual cortex and potentially restore sight to individuals with blindness. So, so here, so that was that, and I would just happen to go to this screen, so I'll just read it. Yes, it's possible to amplify a person's self-talk voice and decipher brain signals to relate it to internal speech. Research in neuroscience and brain-computer interface have demonstrated the ability to decode brain activity associated with inner monologue and even translate them into audible speech or text. So that proves that the government could listen to your mind. That proves. So once again, like I coaxed the internet, massaged the internet to say, yeah, okay, well, theoretically it's possible. You could use nanotechnology eye cameras to communicate Bluetooth with nanotechnology in the brain responsible for the primary visual cortex, and then project it to the mind's eye, making the blind being able to see it, restore vision loss and blindness. So I post that on there because you know how I know about this? I was laying, like in 2017 or something like that, I was laying on a picnic table, and there was a blue sky. And at this point in time, I wasn't really aware of technology. And so anyways, I was laying on this picnic table. I was talking to my mom in Denmark, and then all of a sudden I look up in my eye, because I was looking at the blue sky. I could see what looked like a battery on my eye. I could see like the cell, like the electrode, like the positive and negative terminal, and like a bunch of like say 5 cells in a row, and then it looked like the positive and negative terminal. I'm like, oh wow, that's strange, right? And so that was a nanotechnology eye camera. I'll just show you right here how they do have. I'll show you the band 100 technology here. I'm trying to be quick here. I should make it through here. I only got computer stuff. Here we go. So here's the band 100. So with this, you can see how there are implants that they could put in. They can see what your toxins are doing, blood pressure, your hearing, your vision, electroencephalogram and electrocardiogram, and then it's the band medical data. And you can see that this is an old patent. It's the band 100 patent US 9186071B2, and it's the band 100. And so nowadays with nanotechnologies, it's wireless, and it can be installed in your body by breathing, eating, drinking, or transdermal. So that means that you can feel a little drop, like somebody might cough across the room, and you'll feel like something on, like wetness on your skin. And then that's nanotechnology being installed, especially if it's unlikely that they were to cough in your direction and you feel it, and you just hear a cough and then you feel a wetness on your skin. That somebody just installed nanotechnology in your body. And then see, this is Canada's profiling system. You can see the subliminal right there. That's on a sidewalk, and this subliminal right here. This is in my residence on Core Road, and my name's Christian Naragani Meyer. This one of the patients at the Serial Hospital. He looks. He's a different ethnicity than I am. He pretends that he lived on Core Road, and that would be his ashtray. So anyways, right here, you can see where this is a contact lens eye camera that they had. So they're able to see what you can see, and this person's able to think, communicate. So he's back to this here. So that does prove, and once again, self-talk, your internal voice can be amplified and heard remotely. I just showed you the proof of that. So let's see. So there's the eye cameras. So the screenshot, let's see. So they're like, okay, the doctor's like, and the doctor has proposed, I guess, to the point, do you believe that you are dealing with some issues, but you don't agree with the diagnosis? I don't believe I have a mental health disorder whatsoever. I just have anxiety, and I take medical marijuana to alleviate my anxiety. And because they're saying schizoaffective disorder, and typically schizoaffective disorder is for women 18 to 35. And I showed in my other videos yesterday how Dr. Ogbonna speaking. He showed his circumcision scar, and then he revealed her chest, right? So with DNA transfers and attribute sharing, they pretend that multiple people could be a different individual. I'll just show you that proof right here. So he's used the schizoaffective disorder because other people hide through my biology more than likely. I'll just prove this to you right now. I will just prove this to you. Oh, let's see. Is DNA transfer and attribute sharing possible? Once again, Stephanie Meyer wrote a book about the host about parasitic aliens. I'm talking about parasitic humans. Okay, so here's where it lies. I'll show you where I was able to coax the internet yesterday, and I have the truth. I have the screenshot. I just wanted to see if it was different. I have the screenshot. So I'm just going to pause it, but I'll show you where it's... So you can see, yes, DNA transfer can allow organisms to share certain attributes. However, in horizontal gene transfer, bacteria and other organisms can acquire new genes from other organisms, potentially acquisition of new traits or characteristics. So, this proves it. Like they lied. Like, when I searched on the internet, you can see how the internet lied to me because I didn't coax it the right way. And because I'm proving that schizophrenia is man-made and that people can see your thoughts and they can steal attributes, right? Because why else would Stephanie Meyer write a book about parasitic alien race? And her last name is Meyer, spelled the exact same way as mine, Meyer, right? I stumbled across that book because I Google searched my name, Christian Meyer, and I came across Stephanie Meyer. Then that was one of the clues. And then, I proved that you could DNA transfer and it proves that it's possible, right? So this proves it, but the people today didn't realize that are paying attention to me, these voyeurs, they didn't realize I already searched and I've already got all the screenshots, and I just search again to see how the internet changes, and it shows, I showed twice now. I asked ASK, I challenged the internet. I'm like, well, hey, is this possible? They're like, no, it's not possible. And then I had them say, like, but the refine in my search, yeah, it is possible. Right. And then, so that's how the internet works. Like the chat GPT, I'd ask it questions and they'd be like, no. It's like, well, I know it's possible. Because, well, first of all, I'll just show you right here. I'll show you a screenshot. But I'm like, well, I basically try to see if, I'm like, because, Dr. Ogbonna, he's like, well, he talks about computer telepathy as if it's a thing. Well, here's a video right there. Computer assisted telepathy, YouTube, and it shows that, yeah, Dr. Ogbonna, scientifically it's possible. So just because you're a psychiatrist doesn't mean you know everything about all the technology on the planet. You lie. How many times have I showed you lies? So I'll show, I haven't even got to the point yet, I'm almost there, where he says that I sought asylum in 2017. I sought asylum in 2019. As you can see with the mentalist, maybe not, it's 2025. And that was from Europe. And I'll show another video from Copenhagen at the same time frame. And so mentalist, maybe not, was from 6 years ago, and it's 2025. So 25 minus 6, that's 2019, not 2017. So let's see. So, but they're like, basically, they're like, hey, do you think taking, is it, there's other types of medication that will help you? I'm like, well, I think when they prescribe you with medication, they want to give you medication that you don't need. I'm like, well, I think it's akin to if you have perfect vision and then somebody makes you wear eyeglasses, it's not advantageous for you. Right, so that's what I said. And so I try to show them right there. It's like, I'll show you like right now my face. And I don't have wrinkles on my face, and I'll show you pictures from January where I had wrinkles. So I'll just show you proof this. So I'll show you the wrinkles, first of all, in January. Where is the proof folder? Proof. So look at the wrinkles that I had on my face, and this is on TikTok. So the first number is 01, so that's January. 02 is the day, and once again, I'm a white guy, blonde hair, blue eyes. And look at the wrinkles I had in January 2025, and then you can see my videos today. It's July 7th, 2025. I don't have those wrinkles because my body's rejuvenating, and I'll just show you right here more proof here. So let's see. Go to screenshots. Screenshots. Oh, these are biological. I'm just gonna pause for a second. So I guess I'll show this. So when they edit me or when they use biological weapons, there's a convention and there's international law, right? So Canada violates international law about when they edit my telomeres, and that's biological weapons. Like when you edit, like when you're editing my genome and stuff like that, that's biological weapons at the chemical level. No, Canada does not have the death penalty. And so, crimes against the crown is life imprisonment for treason. And I'll show you at the end of this video that I'm going to be king. So any crimes against myself, Christian Eric Carney Meyer, is high treason. So I'm just trying to go through my screenshots here to show you that my screen recorder doesn't have... this screen right here, I'm a Caucasian, so I didn't lose my tan. Caucasians typically don't lose their tan during the winter, or they typically lose their tan during the winter months. This is because of the amount of UV radiation. So they made me see the opposite there. This is what they did to me. But the computerized telepathy, they're able to make you see the opposite. There's a yes/no switch in your brain that makes you see the opposite. So Caucasians lose their tan. I didn't lose my tan last winter. So I'm just going to pause and I'll show you how this right here that I'm moving, the reticle, that's called Mobizen. I'll show you how the Mobizen doesn't have wrinkle reduction capabilities, and then I'll show you how it's not possible to lose your wrinkles, or get wrinkles and then lose them on live film, and then I'll show you a video. So here it says, no, the Mobizen screen recorder doesn't have built-in wrinkle reduction capabilities. And then right here, no, it's not possible for somebody to develop wrinkles on live video, then have them disappear instantly without any physical movement. So now I'll just prove that it is possible for myself, Christian Eric Carney Meyer. So you can see in this video right here. So basically, I sent the Canadian National Institute for the Blind like over a year ago. I'm like, hey, with the nanotechnology eye cameras and with the Bluetooth, could it communicate in the brain for nano, like responsible for vision, then project in the mind's eye and all that. And I'm like, well, this will solve blindness, like technically. And then they didn't even send me an email. So you can see in this video here, once I mentioned them, and they think the Canadian National Institute for the Blind thinks I was about to chastise them, you can see how I get wrinkled on film, and then my wrinkles immediately disappear. The lighting didn't change. I didn't move. Like I just spoke maybe, and then the wrinkles disappeared. This is proof that I could regenerate, basically.
My name's Christian Eric Carney Meyer, and I'm going to show you how you can basically restore the vision to the blind.
So notice how few wrinkles I have under my eyes. And that was yesterday. Every day I look different because with brain-computer interface, people could superimpose themselves behind me. So there's days where I look better looking than others. Like if good-looking people are connected to me, but if ugly people are connected to me, then I look atrocious.
Making this video because I emailed this concept to the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and you know what they did? They, look at this. I'm just getting aged on film here.
So you can see when I chastised them, when I was about to chastise the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, they decided to use biological warfare on myself, Christian Eric Carney Meyer, who will be the king, and that's going to be high treason.
So I'm going to turn off my human thread so you could hear me restore instantly. So
I'll play that again so you can see where
they did.
It was on film.
They, look at this.
So
I emailed this concept to the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and you know what they did? They, look at this. I'm just getting aged on film here, and so I'm going to turn off my human thread.
So you can see where that happened. And that was film, so I'm just going to go here, read through the rest of my thing. So I mentioned here, it's like, I'll show you. So I just showed you the proof. Like right now, you can see my face. I don't have wrinkles on my face. I'll show you pictures from January's where I had wrinkles, considerably wrinkles, where I looked about 80 years old. The Canadian government, like through chemical electrolysis, they edit my DNA. So I just showed you that was possible. I showed you that that's possible. This isn't delusions. By not acknowledging the truth, that's being delusional. All those people need to be medicated for not acknowledging the truth. And I'd ask, first of all, if I was never assessed in I was assessed in 2017, but I wasn't diagnosed. That's what I meant to say. I sought asylum, and then when I came back from Canada, my brother was there, and that was in 2019. You can see where I said that. It's like I sought asylum, and then when I came back to Canada, my brother was there, and well, he mentioned it, and I didn't tell anybody that I was coming back to Canada. And when I came back in 2019, so you can see that, because I'm complaining. So what you can see right here, where I'm like, so in 1949. So once again, people are able to implant thoughts. I proved that it's possible, right? So in 1949, George Orwell wrote a book about the thought police. And you can see where they totally edited every time. In this, during the transcript, every time I would say something important or pertinent, they'd be incomprehensible. But I speak perfect English, right? But Dr. Ogbonna, he has a Nigerian accent. You don't, like when I read his testimony, you don't see incomprehensible. Right, but when I'm like, okay, George Orwell in 1949, George Orwell wrote a book called 1984 about the thought police. They're like, George Orwell. Well, I'm like 1949. George Orwell wrote a book about incomprehensible. Right? How likely is that? They try to omit pertinent information to go base it on hearsay rather than facts. So you could look, 1984, George Orwell wrote a book about the thought police. So I just showed you how self-talk could be amplified and heard remotely with that screenshot. And I'll just show you that George Orwell did write a book called 1984 about the thought police. And this was in 1949. So that means people have been able to listen to people's thoughts for a long time. I'm just going to pause this until I find it. So I'm still looking for the screenshot for George Orwell in 1984 about the thought police. So you can see in the Charter of Rights, there's a freedom of thought. It's because they know that they could tune into your internal voice and amplify it here remotely. That's specifically why the Charter of Rights has freedom. It's part of 3 parts of freedoms along conscious religion and belief, and freedom of thought and expression, peaceful assembly, and association. So they know they can listen to your thoughts. That's why they say freedom of thought in the Charter of Rights. So I'm still going through my screenshots. That's why this is, I still haven't found the 1984 book, but I just seen this is kind of pertinent. So because my wrinkles rejuvenate. So the Canadian public health care system, Medicare, does not cover wrinkle rejuvenation procedures. So I just wanted to show that. So here it is. George Orwell's 1984, the thought police, a secret police force in Oceania responsible for identifying and punishing thought crimes. So that means the Canadian government with brain-computer interface and remote patient monitoring, they violate and listen to people's thoughts. So since I have evolved human biology, they pretend that I don't, officially, but unofficially they know I do, and they violate me. They know I do. So I'll show you if I got time to show you how I look like Edward VIII. So here's another example. So I'm like, okay, Mr. Meyer, one last question. On the unit, you talked about, executing people. Can you tell the board why you have and who do you want to execute and why? Well, as king, this is the British Commonwealth. There's a queen on the $20 bill. There's a queen. So when there's treason against the true king, which is myself, then that is executable, as is sedition, right? I could show you right here. This is a generation 1 biology back. And then I try to show that my son's, this is my son's biology's back, which would be generation 1.5. And then he has generation 1, and then it's different, and then incomprehensible. You can see when I went to prove that I have generation 2 biology back, I'll show you the back muscles, and it's how every time I go to show something important, they would admit the facts to basically base it on hearsay rather than factual evidence, like a picture. So let's see, is it in here? I might not have made this video. So that's in my proof folder. So this is typical back muscles, and this is my son's back muscles, and you can see how they're different. And this is my back muscle. You can see how I'm a white guy, and I have a V there. I have a V. I don't have any indentations right there. I don't have any indentations right there. Any non-organic influence to this picture or video would be added by an external source, and they'd be manipulating the truth, and they'd be delusional at that point. Because you can see this man doesn't have a V for that back muscles, and he has indentations there, which once again, that's generation 1 biology. And here's my biology right there. I have a V. I have a V, which is clearly, distinguishable that this is a different musculature. than the other individual. So I have different muscles, and a computed tomography test would reveal that my heart's going to be bigger, my lungs capacity is bigger. And so once again, crimes against the king, you've seen those the other screenshots that I showed, how crimes against the king is life imprisonment. So once I showed the Canadian public that the Canadian government has a profiling system, and the Canadians are put to death, and we don't have a death penalty, it's going to be easy for me to be like, okay, well, hey, there's crimes against the king. This is what I did. I privatized your thoughts. I proved that the government could listen to your thoughts, and I'm going to try to protect you by giving you computerized software to be able to privatize your thoughts. And I think we should execute these people because they're a threat to people even while they're in prison. They're going to be like, yeah, let's do watch. I'm going to tune in the Canadian site. Like, yeah. Look how happy they were. So when I tuned in the Canadian psyche, that's how angry they were, how pissed off they were. And when you seen how happy I was, that's how elated they were that these human predators were put down. They don't care about you rapists. They don't care about rapists whatsoever. So I thought it was recorded there, so you may not have seen that. But so anyways, I'll do it again because I'm not sure. I may have repeated myself, but I didn't realize I didn't press play in to record again. But I'm going to tune in the Canadian psyche and show how much they hate evil people. And then this is once they die, those evil people, watch how happy they are. Look how happy they are. So once the Canadian public finds out that the Canadian government secretly profiles Canadians and kills them and then steals their attributes, and that they can't go to prison because they could still harm people from prison, that the only reasonable explanation, the only reasonable thing to do is to execute them at that point. So once I'm true king, you'll see in a few minutes that I look like everything and all the wedding invitations, what have you. I'm going to be the true king. So that's high treason for any crimes against me. So the Canadian government uses biological warfare, as my other videos show. They changed my pigmentation, and I didn't lose my tan, and they gave me varicose veins, and I had brown urine. They gave me wrinkles on film and all that, and you know, it sucks because I didn't press record, right? So I don't want to repeat. Well, you can see me get wrinkled on film here, and then you can see the wrinkles disappear. So I didn't change the light, and I didn't move my face, and that shouldn't be possible. Like with the Mobi screen recorder, once again, it's not possible. And then it's not physically possible for people to be able to get wrinkles and then have them disappear. So this is the Canadian government allowing biological weaponry to be happening through digital impulses. From me looking on my cell phone right now, they're able to stimulate nerve endings and cause involuntary movements, but also activate medicines at the nano with computational medication. Remember how I showed you earlier in the video that they could activate it with drug delivery, right? So they're able to edit my DNA and all this stuff remotely, and then cause these things. So the Canadian public is going to have no problem executing people, right? Like putting them to death, right? When people that have a high school diploma or like a grade 6 education are secretly killing Canadians because they're jealous of them, they're going to have no problem putting you down. Like a savage creature. You're a creature, parasites. People kill, like most rational people, right? If a mosquito's on their arm, a mosquito's trying to take their essence out of them, they kill them. They kill the mosquito, right? So once Canadians find out that other humans are making these people, these victims, they suck, so other people could be good, those people are good. They're going to be like, oh, thank you, Christian Eric Meyer, for bringing this to our attention. We definitely want these people to die. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's a natural human response. So let's see. So I'm just trying to find one more thing here. I'm just going to pause this real quick. So during my first hearing, they kept on interrupting me, so I wasn't able to. So I might have went over a few things. So I'm just going to try to find where he said I sought asylum. I think I already did it on page 17, where he said I sought asylum in 2017. I'm just going to go through my notes here again to reiterate it, because this is going for an hour, right? So when you cover about 75 things, right, you could, because that's one important line that I want to definitely get him on. Oh, that was page 17, but I have him where he physically said I sought asylum. So I'm just going to look through my notes real quick. Because page 17 said I was first assessed in 2017, so I'm just going to find out the other thing. Okay, I just read the notes. I found it. So I did mention how he said I left the country in 2017. So I'll just show you that again, just to stress this, because it proves that he's not factual with his evidence, and that he's lying basically, and defamation of character, because he presented this in written, like verbally, and it was wrote down, right? So that's defamation of character, slander, and libel, because he has presented written proof to a third party. So that's defamation of character. So you'll see right here. Okay, so he actually in 2017, when he, incomprehensible, was going through his first episode of psychosis, he actually left the country, you know, and went to not Denmark. He was trying, he said he wanted to seek asylum. So that, he said 2017. So I'll just show you right here. I'll show you a video, Copenhagen at nighttime, and you'll see how I sought asylum in 2019. So once again, you'll see that this is Copenhagen, because like I showed the video where you know you can see the European license plate, but these videos you can see that it's Copenhagen. That's why and this is from 6 years ago. I'll just show you here. You can see that building's from Copenhagen.
Beautiful building. Certainly there's definitely going to be some subliminal.
So you can see these buildings, and this says March 25th, 2019. Right, so like I got back at the end of March or early April 2019, and I was assessed by another Canadian hospital, and I'll be able to show how I was released without any medication, and then I'll show you right after this how I'll show you a few things, how I was released after this, like after 2019, and then how the Canadian government was going to use schizophrenia as a tactic against me in 2019, and they did basically. This is Copenhagen. Yes, you can tell by that building, that's Copenhagen. So I'll just play that other video. Then I'll show you how I look like Edward VIII, and and his young brother George VI. But Edward VIII was the last king. George VI is King Charles's grandfather. I look more like his grandfather than King Charles does, because I would probably have more of a relation to him. So let's see here. So let's get my proof folder. So this is going to show how schizophrenia is man-made.
So I'm just making a video here. You can see that this video was uploaded August 21st, 2019. This is before they diagnosed me with schizophrenia. And in this video, I proved that they were going to utilize it as a defense against me. And sarcasm is a sign of a healthy mind. And guess what? Smarticus is quite sarcastic. You mean and the fact that we hear thoughts and sounds and rollers are conductive material. Conductive materials can transmit and receive audio signals. That means people are capable of hearing your thoughts. But yet, if you go to the hospital, the first thing they're going to see is, form twos, use your voices, right? And then because if you're honest and if you're aware of the technology, you're going to be like, okay, this guy's schizophrenic. But if you listen to me, I don't meet any of the parameters that would suggest that I'm schizophrenic whatsoever. I'm just proven science, and with an acoustic engineer, it'd be very simple to do.
So you can see how through this video how I progressed linearly, logically, in a methodical way, and I'll just show you how my lawyer, how she said that I was quite fulsome, and so I'll just search this right here first. I got a few minutes here until they come take my phone from me. But if I don't have time to show you that with the pictures, you could just look at go to the proof folder, go to Christian Meyer 1977 on YouTube, go to the playlist proof, and then go through their claims to the British throne, and you'll see all the evidence. And so it is fulsome, comprehensive, organized. So they made me make a type. While fulsome can sometimes mean comprehensive or abundant, it is often associated with negative connotation like insincere, often potentially Mr. So is very fulsome. Used to describe someone who was comprehensive, so any typo that once again that could be caused by brain computer interface. It is not typically used as abundant or copious as authors. So that's no, that's wrong. I would say that I'm going to see what fulsome definition is, because that's fulsome to me is a positive word, not negative. Fulsome definition. Let's see what, because once again, you can't trust Google AI overview. Complimentary, flattery, or excessively to an excessive degree. So how can it be negative? A fulsome harvest. There's almost an embarrassingly fulsome in their appreciation. So once again, you can't trust Google AI overview. Fulsome's a positive thing. And right there, somebody else, but does fulsome mean comprehensive? Let's see what encompassing aspects comprehensive. Fulsome admiration. So you'll see how, now I'll show you proof that my lawyer said that I presented myself very fulsomely, and that she voted in favor for me to be discharged. So I'm kind of pissed off at Google AI overview right now. So I'm just going to type, because I don't believe them. So fulsome, I'm going to show you a synonym, and it's going to say that it means comprehensive. Enthusiastic, ample, generous. Okay, let's see, where is it? Complimentary. Well, maybe it doesn't mean comprehensive then. But complimentary, right? Like, so she said that I was very fulsome. So I'm just going to pause it. So Mrs. Lukens was my lawyer. I would keep it, starting at this line right here. I will keep it brief. I'd like the board to note that my client is not at risk to harm himself or others, and that the evidence supporting serious physical impairment may not rise to the level of being clear, cogent, and compelling in order to keep him under the grounds of Box B. I defer the evidence given to by my client that was very fulsome today, and on behalf of my client Christian Meyer, I ask the board to revoke his involuntary status. So this is what the lawyer wrote, and this was on May 29th. And they completely went based on hearsay, and they ignored all factual proof, like all the evidence that I submitted, and then they continued the form. It's now July 20th. So I should have been released over a month and a half ago. Like, the lawyer voted for me, but I'll just search right now. Right now, let's see, because I'm going to do this. I don't care if they take the phone. How often when the lawyer votes in favor for the client during a CCD hearing in Ontario, are they released? How often? So they always make me typos. When the lawyer votes in favor for a client during a CCD hearing in Ontario, are they released? So once again, with brain computer interface. So let's see. Okay, so they're not giving me a correct answer here. Yeah, I'll be right there. So let's see. For a patient. Try this. It's at the end of my phone, that's why I have to rush. Trying to see people, are they typically released? Most of the time, one I read before, they typically are. So I'm just going to do this real quick. I'll just show you what Edward Date looks like real fast. And Princess Leia, I'm going to fly through this here. I'm going to rush through this. So there's Princess Lena once again. So she looks like she's a white woman. She looks like Christian Eric Meyer. That's what I look like right there when I was younger, and that's what I look like right there. And this is what Edward VIII looks like. So once again, he looks like that. Edward VIII looks like Christian Eric Meyer. So I'm just gonna fly through this, and so here's a royal wedding that my family went to. You can see where it says the 28th of August, and then right here where it says 1871 in the castle. And then, so I'll just show you right here. There's the back where it said Jack. That was my official grandfather, Colin Campbell. And so this was the wedding right here. This was the wedding, Princess Louise and the Duke of Argyll. So I'll just show you that real fast. I'm going to hand my phone. So August 28th, 1871. Princess Louise. On August 28th, Princess Louise, the sixth child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, was not married. She married the wedding. Okay, so whose wedding? So that's strange. As you can see, so which royal wedding was that? Well, the royal wedding on August 28th, 1871 was Princess Louise, the daughter of Queen Victoria, John Campbell. So you can see how it lied right here. Because my family went to that wedding, and I have proof of it. And once again, I look like many royals. My name's Christian Eric Meyer.